In this video, we'll be discussing what happens when you miss your Chapter 13 bankruptcy payments. So stay tuned, bankruptcy bailout buddies. Welcome debtors and debettes to Bankruptcy Bailout. My name is Matt Berkus, Colorado bankruptcy and debt relief attorney, and remember what we say here is that debt ruins lives, not bankruptcy. So today we're going to talk about a popular question about what happens and what can you do if you miss your Chapter 13 plan payment. Now don't worry, it's not the end of the world if you miss the payment. But first, before we get to the topic, I need to ask you a favor. Please consider subscribing to this channel and liking this video. Now I get it. You don't want people to know that you're looking at this kind of stuff. Because after all, our financial lives, we tend to keep them very private. But consider it as a way of paying it forward. If you found this information helpful, others will too. And by liking this video and subscribing to our channels, it will help others find this information. So thank you. Now, on to our topic. So what happens when you miss your Chapter 13 plan payment? Well, in general, if you miss two payments, the trustee will eventually file a motion to dismiss your case for failure to make payments. But again, that's not the end of the world. Now, what you do about it depends on the reason you fell behind in the first place. So if whatever's causing you to fall behind is temporary or short-lived, most trustees, I think all of them around the country, but certainly in Colorado, will give you an opportunity to catch up. So if you only missed, 1, 2, or 3 payments and you can now start making the regular payment and pay a little extra, most trustees will give you 3 to 6 months to do that. And they may have you sign an agreement to that effect. But in any event, so one option is if you're able to, you will have the option to catch up the payments. Now, if the issue that caused you to fall behind is more involved or more permanent, then what we can do is modify your Chapter 13 plan. So basically, we reopen the book of your bankruptcy and make the appropriate changes to determine what payment you can make going forward and sort of bring you on paper current by basically reconciling what you've paid into the plan already and then proposing a payment to go forward. And that only works if the reason for you falling behind is something more permanent. You either lost a job or had a change in income, you added a family member to your household, that sort of thing. And then lastly, I think we need to keep in mind, or the third reason, or the third option, is we can convert your case, or we might be able to convert your case to Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Because once you file bankruptcy, the goal is to get your bankruptcy discharge. And so if you fall behind on your Chapter 13 or the Chapter 13 is suddenly failing, well then we have to figure out how to preserve getting a discharge. And if your circumstances have changed for the worse, unfortunately, then you may have the option to change from a Chapter 13 to a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and get out of your bankruptcy that way. All right, so there you have it, the 3 options for dealing with getting behind on your Chapter 13 payments. I do a lot of Chapter 13 bankruptcies for people, and this is actually quite common. People tend to fall behind in year 2, year 3. Most of the time they're able to catch up, but certainly now, I'm doing this video during the pandemic. We're doing a lot of modified plans of existing Chapter 13 bankruptcies to address the issues, the economic problems that people are facing. One last point to consider. If the trustee does file a motion to dismiss your case, you need to respond to it. Okay? The notice of that motion will have a deadline for you to respond. You need to respond to that motion, or ideally have your attorney respond to that motion to buy you the time to figure out what you're going to do. So there you have it. My name is Matt Berkus. I'm a Colorado bankruptcy and debt relief attorney. I also handle student loan issues. I offer free telephone consultations to residents of Colorado for the purposes of bankruptcy. Best of luck to you, and have a great day.